जो मर्जी नहीं तो अप्रैल से स्टार्ट करो तो स्टार्ट करो एज विश
चल ठीक
जो मर्जी सर कितने बच्चे हैं यहाँ पे
अभी तो लाइव जाऊंगा ना अब मैं जा रहा हूँ लाइव
ठीक है पूरा 5 हो गया पूरा 5 ठीक है मुझे पता नहीं था भाई
Hi, good evening everyone. How are you doing? So this is, I think, third or fourth time that we're meeting apart from the classes. Well, so I can see Harshal, Ganesh, Saksham, Mahima, Akhil, Satyabrat. How are you guys doing? I hope everything is fine. So starting from today, there are 240 days left to CAT. The big day of your life which is going to change how your future will be. So today we are coming up with the entire strategy of CAT preparation, the schedule starting from April. Today is 31st March and I think a lot of you might be watching IPL, but let's take a break from it for at least an hour and we'll start with the month of April. So all of us know that there are three major sections, that is VARC, verbal ability, reading comprehension, then we have LRDI, logical reasoning, data interpretation, and Quant. And so we have made it week-wise schedule. So and also how it will be done, because it's not that only you have to do it alone, we are also there in terms of live classes, application classes, practice sessions, dashboard assignments, etc. So everything is aligned. I'm repeating that again. The live class happens from 7 to 9, normally 4 days a week. Application classes 6 days a week, that happen 10 to 12 midnight. And we also have practice sessions based on the things that we have taught. And on a dashboard, you get an assignment on the same topic. So everything is synchronized, and this is how it will go along. The first week of April, in VARC, we'll be doing, and we are expecting that we should be doing all of this, and we need your support in that also. First is science, technology, business, and economics. So these two topics are very important. Like I have seen, majorly, one passage, you can expect one passage for business economics, it is something is mandatory. And in science tech also, there is one passage. Normally it happens. Sometimes it's just one, combining these two, and normally it is one each. So this is very important, and the best thing about science tech passages, they are the easiest ones. Now I'll tell you why. See, science and technology, this might seem difficult to read for the people who are not from scientific background, but at the very same time, the passage based on science and tech would be having a lot of jargons, a lot of technical terms. So the questions that can be formed on science and tech would always be easy to solve, because it will be based on contextual vocabulary, some cases inference, some cases critical reasoning as well. But because it is jargon based, it is it is a lot of technical terms. That is why it becomes very easy for us to answer. There is no philosophy or intricate messages in any of the science and science and technology passages. Coming to business economics. Now, business economics is something which is important, because all we're preparing for is MBA, which is nothing but Masters in Business Administration. So business economics, it doesn't mean that you have actually, you should know what is business, what is economics, what is global trade, etc. But this is something which a manager should be aware of. And that is what they check, whether you get a new passage of which you have not read anywhere, still are you able to identify the data which is important to you, and the same data would be the base for framing the questions. LRDI, tables, and cubes. Now tables, so data representation have got different techniques. Table is the very basic, the simplest technique. So what happens, the table given to you, in that table there can be various heads, columns, and some rows, and it can be asked in various ways. Data will be given, based on that data there will be questions. The questions can involve tenets of percentages, ratios, etc. But sometimes it happens that, let's say we have 4 blanks, 4 rows like this, and 2 rows or 3 rows might be blank, which you have to fill depending on the conditions given. The main thing that we'll keep in mind is the units used. Units means it can be dollars if it is something monetary, it can be rupees, it can be other things also. Moreover, there's some questions in which they will be giving exchange rates, dollar to rupees, how to convert, and based on all that stuff, we might need to fill the blanks and also need to answer the questions based on what is the growth rate, what's decline rate, etc. Harshal says, dashboard assignment we solved, do discuss it in the practice sessions. Harshal, no, practice sessions are different from dashboard assignments, but if you have any doubt in dashboard assignments, you can post it in our doubts group. Well, Quant, percentages, profit and loss. So percentage, I would say it is the most, if not most, then very important topic. Why? Because based on percentage, we have profit and loss and also SI and CI, but at the very same time, percentage involved in data interpretation. Because a lot of questions are asked, what is the percentage growth? What is percentage decline? So percentage forms the basic of any calculation of all the arithmetic. That is why percentage is very important, and that is why we'll take total 1 week in doing percentage and its application, that is profit and loss. Even second week, we have SICA, which is again the application of percentages. Second week, VRC, arts, society, culture, history, and politics. By the way, from my experience, I have seen 50% of all the RC passages from last 7 years are from these topics: history, politics, art, society, and culture. Why? Why does that happen? Because if you're a manager and let's say you are going to, work in some company as an analyst, or let's say as a consultant or a financial planner or whatever, so you need to understand the culture and the society and how business differs across various domains, across various demographies. So that is why this becomes very important, and also the people who read these topics are the people who are avid readers. That is what CAT wants to do. So 50% of passages are based on these topics. Coming to LRDI, linear arrangements, line and bar graphs. So here we had tables, which was of DI, cubes, which was of logical reasoning, linear arrangements, which is again of logical reasoning, line and bar graphs are of DI, data interpretation. So when I told you the data can be represented in form of table, it can also be in form of line and bar graphs. So they look like this. These are the line graphs. So these are the critical points on which data is given, and based on these points, these data, we have to answer questions. In case of bar graphs, as the name says, it is basically bars. Bars can be, normally they are horizontal. If they are vertical, we call it histograms or column graphs, but but overall, we can take them as one basic unit. Then in quant, ratio, which is second most important topic, because see, time, speed, distance, time and work, the two major topics from which you can expect 2 questions every year, they are based on ratios. So I can say percentage and ratios nothing but the alphabet of, like what alphabet is to English language, the same percentage and ratio are to arithmetic. So they are very important. In third week, philosophy and psychology, you can expect 1 passage or 2 passages in 3 sections, in 3 slots combined. Circular arrangements, which is nothing but when we do linear arrangements, we make people sit in a straight line. When it's circular, we make people sit around a circular table, around a square table, around a hexagonal table also in some cases. Averages, mixtures, alligations, these are independent of percentage or ratio, but in case of alligation, ratio is involved. In averages, it is independent of all these things. It is nothing but basic calculation. Of course, there are certain tricks and tips which we'll be discussing in the live classes. All right. Then coming to fourth week. Fourth week, we'll be having mixed RC. Now, what is mixed? So, I'll give you an example, a very example which still stays with me when I was preparing for CAT. So, I went through a passage 10 years back, and the topic, the passage looked like it is on science and technology, but it was actually philosophical. So, what happened? The passage was on a video game, and so you must have, tell me how many of you have played this game, GTA San Andreas? GTA, very famous game, right? So there's a person and who has to accomplish a lot of missions, and stage after stage he just goes on. And in that game, the graphics are awesome, and at the very same time it's very wide. The game is very wide. In terms of production value, it's very wide. So they have ground, they have roads, they have railway tracks, they have aeroplanes. They also have ocean, they have mountains. So if you keep on swimming in that ocean and keep on going in one direction, probably you want to reach the horizon, you'll never be able to reach the horizon. That is the loop. So that that passage was all about the loops inside a video game, and in that loop, a person was walking and he killed some people, some goons in the in his in the stages. And once he reached a cave, and in that cave he found the prototypes of the people that he had killed. So it was like that is the cave which is a repository of all the living bodies, and souls are free to wander, so something like that. Now this is a classic example of mixed RC. So they can combine science technology with arts and science. They can combine politics with business, like Industrial Revolution. So that is something which is all about mixed RCs, and it normally they don't in the 3 slots combined. I have seen 1 to 2 mixed RCs, not more than that. But all in all the passages have a major genre and a minor genre. Major can be, let's say, philosophy, and the minor can be arts and culture, or vice versa, or it's a combination of 3 or more topics as well. Then comes quant-based DI pie charts. Pie charts. Pie, all of you must know what a pie is: choco pie, apple pie. So pie is a circular, the shape is circle, and in that we have these sectors, and sectors can represent different values in terms of angles or in terms of percentages. It can be various parameters on which questions can be asked, right? Yeah, Harish, it's the schedule for batch 2 and also the 240 days for everyone, be it batch 1 or everyone who wants to prepare for CAT. Time and work, as I told you, time and work, it depends on percentages and ratio. The questions, they are based on that, but they are more about how efficient the people will be if they're working in a group. So that is a part of arithmetic only. And now, first month of April is over. So coming to month of May, and I would like to invite Mr. Abbas to take it over. Shifans, that all depends on the kind of, the individual choice. Okay.
Hi guys, I guess I'm audible, all of you? Clear? Everything? So yes. So thank you, Abhishek sir. So we will start from this one. We'll start from May, like how we start preparing. Like as you understood, like what exactly we are doing. So what we have created this particular thing just for like month to month wise, like how you prepare. So, and regarding your like batch kind of things, we will discuss all of these things, like your profile based questions, we will discuss something later. You can post all of these things in the group as well, so don't worry about it. But mostly, all of you guys, the first and a few things you have to understand, like first thing we are doing is like how you prepare for CAT for the next few months, especially till November. That's we are learning, right? So sir has completed with exactly like with month April. So I'll start from month May, and you have understood like how we basically shortlisted like the topics and the chapters what we are going to do since especially since April to November. So what we are going to do basically in May, that is like the first week is obviously for like the VA. You can see like in VA we have parajumbles. So parajumble is certain section in the VA section, and you can expect around questions like more or less like around like 2 to 3 questions from parajumbles. And that's why it is very important here. In case of parajumbles, you should practice it from the earlier days. And remember, in case of doing this thing, there are a lot of technical things which you need to understand, like how you basically arrange a para and how you basically arrange like the initiation of a paragraph, or like the final statements and the conclusions, or like the premise, or like the facts, like how all of these things can be like created to make a coherent kind of paragraph. So that's why it is important. And along with that, you have to start practicing 4RC. Now, in the previous month, you have learned types of RC, right? I basically understood like all the different types of RC, including science, technology, including like philosophy, including psychology, including arts, humanities, language, everything you have learned in the first month. In the next month onwards, you don't need to learn anything in RC. What you need to do, you need to just practice. You need to just practice RC. Especially, you have to do something which is also very, very crucial while like doing this RC thing. It's basically you have to like keep on trying like solving RC. There might be a problem, like there might be some time you can face a lot of difficulties in solving RC, you may get all the questions incorrect also, but please do not give up. Like you have to keep on solving RC, and you need to understand like which kind of questions you're going to solve and where exactly you have to basically like focus in which type of questions, whether it is assumption based questions, whether it is like inference based questions, whether it is, let's say, not inference, something like factual questions. So you have to be very critical while solving RC, like which questions is your forte and where you actually getting incorrect answers, and you have to like train yourself to do all of those particular spheres better while you're preparing. Very, very important. Next is LRDA. This is Venn diagram. Now, what is Venn diagram? You already know Venn diagram is something which we generally say it is basically being represented in Venn diagram. So you can see like this kind of things are basically like a two-thing Venn diagram. So we have two Venn diagrams, three Venn diagrams, three Venns, and we have four Venns as well. So Venn diagram is also a very important topic. You can expect around one set from Venn diagram in LRDA section. So it is very, very important. So please do it very carefully. And next is distribution. Distribution is basically a LR topic. Venn diagram is DI kind of topic, DI LR mix kind of. So distribution is also very important. There are a lot of questions basically based on distribution where you have to understand like exactly which kind of questions in distribution. Like distribution, it can be kind of questions where later there are a lot of people are there. We have a lot of other salaries are there. Then they have a lot of other jobs are there. Different kind of like houses, different from the city. So all these kind of questions are basically from distribution. So distribution is something which is like which requires a lot of good logical ability to solve questions. So the next thing I'll go, that is a quant. Quant is TSD is a very important topic. Why TSD is very important topic? Because you will expect two questions from TSD from in almost every state, at least two questions. Now TSD it's not itself is a small chapter. You can see it is only TSD, but this is not as simple as that. In TSD we have so many different subtopics. Like we have proportionality, we have average speed, relative speed. We have like boats and streams, two-flow motion, linear race, circular race. So we have total 8 to 9 subtopics which is including in TSD. And TSD is a kind of a standalone chapter which requires a lot of understanding in percentage as well as ratio. But TSD itself is a particular block, and which is one of the most important block in arithmetic. So you have to learn TSD very well. That's why I have given you kind of a time to learn TSD. Now the second week is again the 4 RC is common. You have to keep on practicing RC, like 4 RC on an average in every day. If you cannot do 4 RC, you is fine with 3. If you cannot do 3, it is fine with 2 also. But you have to keep on practicing RC every day. So if it is minimum, just do at least 2. But if you want to do it like on an average, that is 3, and 4 is like optimum. So do whatever it's feasible for you and according to your time, but you have to do it regularly. It's not like in one day I'm solving 10 RC, next day I'm not solving, or next 4 days I'm like just taking breaks. It is not possible. So the thing is like basically next is para completion. So para completion is again a kind of a question which is a lot of based on VA. So it's like the entire paragraph is given and the last sentence is basically being missed. So you have to complete the paragraph. So this is kind of question based on completion. And in para completion question also you need to understand very well critically the particular paragraph. So that's why we also use critical reasoning to exhaust our understanding, especially in case of how we generally work with this type of programs like the para completions, the para jumbles, and all of these things in the VA section. When is iQuanta launching the new batch for CAT Prep? It is launching now again. Obviously, we will launch it in April only. Is it possible to go from 40 to 99 percentile in this 8 hours? In this 8 hours, I don't understand what is in 8 hours. Like if you ask me about iQuanta, I will obviously say iQuanta will be helpful, but how iQuanta will be helpful, that's what we are basically going to teach you, like what exactly we are doing, and how iQuanta is different, that also be given to you like after this class, so don't worry. So we will have all of these things like how iQuanta will help you to learn CAT and how iQuanta will help you to get like your preparation done. So we have everything. So we will discuss all of these things after this month-wise schedule, so don't worry about it. Next is second week is the para completion is there. Next is selection and binary logic. Selection is and the binary logic is an important thing. Obviously selection is basically based on LR and all. So in case of like it has to, you have to selection is in some cases like there are questions where there are a lot of like a lot of sets, the sample spaces are there and you have to select from those sample spaces, and you need to create another data set to solve this type of question. So you have to select from, let's say, XYZ sets, and you have to do this type of questions like very rigorously, because this is all based on practice. If you're not practicing well enough, in case of LRDI, it's very difficult to keep it up. And remember, in most cases, like you have to do at least 1 to 1.5 sets to get 1 to 1.5 sets to get the your desired percentile at least to clear the cutoff. So you have to be very clear, like you need to at least do around 1 to 1.5 sets, and for that reason you have to do all of these things, and you need to make sure which particular thing you are very comfortable with. And these days we are generally having morely in LR. So we do not have like only DI type of questions these days. So it is morely LR, and this LR with something LR with something DI, like logical kind of DI, a DI which has a lot of inclusion in LR. So these type of questions are very common these days. So simple DI we do not generally see a lot, but it's always about LR and logical DI. Next is Quant, obviously the revision. It is revision for arithmetic. It is revision for arithmetic. Remember what we do here? We will do revise arithmetic, because TS is the last chapter of the arithmetic, and after completing arithmetic, you have to do the revision of arithmetic. So revision for arithmetic, I have given you 1 week. In this 1 week, you have to go through everything, like whatever you have learned in arithmetic, and please practice all these things also. So this is for April batch. This is for everyone. This is every person who is starting from April. Whether you are going for April batch or anything else, it is for every person. Next is also 4 RC and odd one out. So odd one out is also a VA section where there, let's say, 5 coherent lines are given. You have to select one line or one sentence which is basically not making sense in that particular coherent lines. So that is the odd one out. This also belongs to VA section. So you have to do this odd one outs. And next is games and tournaments. Very, very important is games and tournaments. Because games and tournaments, you will get at least 1 LR from games and tournaments. It can include, let's say, the round robin tennis tournament where there are 64 players are there, you are doing 32, 6 in this kind of questions. And games and tournaments can include any kind of, let's say, IPL kind of scenario where there are 10 teams, this is a league, then there is a knockout, and all kind of these kind of questions can be based in games and tournaments, and it is very, very important. Next is logical DI. This is the only type of DI we generally see right now in CAD. This is logical DI. This is a DI which includes a concepts of LR. So a DI, there's a lot of database questions is there, but it also includes some kind of logical thinking as well. So this particular thing we call it's a logical DI. Next is in case of Quant, now we are starting algebra. So what we are starting? Algebra from the 3rd week. 3rd week we are starting algebra. The first thing we are going to do, that is linear and quadratic. Now, linear is something which is very simple. You can see like linear equation is something where this is a linear equation and this is, let's say, a quadratic equation. So this kind of equations we generally have with linear and quadratic, and they are the basic base of algebra. If you are not knowing what is linear equation, it is very difficult for you to solve, in fact, the entire equation based things. So linear quadratic are very important, and you can expect around 2 to 3 questions from linear arithmetic, linear and quadratic as well. Because we have seen in the last year, total 8 algebra questions have been asked, which is same as the number of arithmetic question. So in this paper, in the previous paper, the algebra and arithmetic have equal weightage, which was not seen in the previous year's paper. Generally, arithmetic always have the highest weightage, but the previous year we have seen arithmetic and algebra, they have almost equal weightage. Yes, it is available is there, obviously, like you can also switch, obviously, Akhil. So the next thing we will do, like the 4th week, obviously, in the 4th week, we are doing again 4 RC. It is also there. It is always. Now you have to do RC almost every day. Next is para-summary. Para-summary is like, let's say, a summary-based question, which is a very important while we are including with critical reasoning, right? So para-summary is a very important. We also need to use the concept of critical reasoning while solving para-summary questions. Next is network flow diagram and caselet. So in LRDI, network flow diagram is also very important. Network flow diagram is like this. It is a LR part. So this is network flow diagram. So let's say you are from A, you can go B, C, D. So it can kind of a network. Let's say an oil kind of network, or a network of electricity, or a network of, let's say, milk distribution. So all of these things are basically under this network flow diagram. And caselet is also a LR topic. So these both are basically LR topic. And caselet is also very important, because caselets you will be given a lot of caselets, like lot of data, and from this you need to find all the cases, all the different type of cases, and accordingly you have to solve that particular this type of logical reasoning question. So these two are obviously very important, like network diagram and caselet. And the caselet is again one short question you'll get from caselet, at least one from each and every set. And now the next one is, in case of quant, that is a special equation. Now what is special? Special is nothing but special equation. Special equation is the kind of equation like this. It's a very common question in TAT also. 1 upon x plus 1 upon y equals to 1 upon 6. How many solutions are there? So in that chapter, in the special equation chapter, we will deal with all these questions which have a different special character. It's a different character, and we will basically go through exactly with all these questions, special equations with linear quadratic. Why we are doing special equation after this? Because it is very connected with linear. So that's why we are doing the special equations after like every time. And remember one thing, after finishing all these things, now this VRC section, you have to practice RC every day, no matter what it is. Like you have the chance 2 RC, 3 RC, 4 RC. 4 is the optimum, obviously. 3, it's like the average. And if you're not trying to do, if you're not solving this kind of questions, at least do 2 RC. That is the bare minimum. You have to do 2 RC every day, no matter what happens. And it has to be very continuous. So let me go for the next month. So this is all about May. So next is June. So in case of June, you can see like, okay. Where is it? Yes, this is June, you can see like, yes. So in case of June, the first week is again 4 RC. Look, I have already told you this 4 RC thing will continue till the time you start taking mocks. So until that time, you have to do almost 3 to 4 RC every day. First week, do not take it as like I'm doing 4 RC in the entire week. It's like a 4 RC every day. If not possible, do 3 or 2. That is your choice. Next is critical reasoning. Critical reasoning is very important. And now why we put critical reasoning later? Because whenever you are doing RC, you can see there are a lot of questions which is based on inference, which is based on assumption, which is based on, let's say, strengthening, weakening. So these kind of questions generally get a lot of help from critical reasoning. Because critical reasoning is basically based on one small paragraph, and where there is a premise, there is a conclusion, there is an assumption, and you have to answer this question based on this. So that generally improve your understanding of all these portions, like whether it is an inference, whether it is an assumption, whether it is like what is the kind of like the strategy the author is taking in that particular paragraph. So this actually help you now to improve your RC. So you have already a decent amount of practice. You have done, let's say, 2 months of practice in RC. Now you can understand where you need to like improve, where it's basically your forte. You understand what type of questions you are generally getting incorrect while solving this type of questions. So in that case, that critical reasoning will actually help you a lot, especially in RC also, in your VS section, especially in the summary based questions as well. So please do critical reasoning, very, very important. And this also improve your logic as well. Because apart from CAT, there are other exams are there which actually include critical reasoning question as well. Next is LRDI. Now in LRDI, you start practicing. Like we have done almost all the topics of LRDI in the first 2 months, like in April and May. In June is the practice. So how many sets you have to practice per day? 4 or 3 or 2. It's like 4 is optimum, 3 is average, and 2 is like the bare minimum. You have to do every day 2 different sets. Please remember, 2 different sets you have to do. Next is Quant. Quant is like indices and surds. So this is basically the 3rd chapter for the arithmetic, for the algebra section, I'm sorry. Indices, surds is from this chapter, this ILS, indices, logarithm and surds. So indices and surds we are doing, and indices, surds is not a very important chapter because we do not get a lot of direct question from indices, surds. But the concept of indices is very much required in doing, let's say in function, doing the other algebraic chapters also, function, especially in inequality, in even sequence series also. So we get a lot of application of indices, surds also. And this indices, surds has application in the general algebraic identity as well. Because all of these things you can see like a plus b whole square. So these are actually including the as like indices, surds concepts. And surds already you know, like surds which has like the square root or like the cube root or anything like to the power, which is not basically rational. Next is second week. Second week is again 4 RC and critical reasoning. I'm repeating the same thing for the second week. LRDI, same, the practice 432. But Quant, you have to do log and inequality. Log is an important chapter because for the last 2-3 years, we have seen consistently questions coming from the log. So log you have to do. So log you have to do and inequality as well. So because from this block, you can expect around 2 to 3 questions from log and inequality. And especially when you do log, because log will include also in inequality, log will also used in function also. So log is a chapter which you need to use in inequality in function as well, and log itself is also an important chapter. And if you don't know log, you cannot solve log. So you need to learn log, and log is not a very difficult thing. It has a certain set of like theorems and certain set of like definitions, and you need to keep practicing just to get master with the log. Because we have seen the questions which we have in log, it's not a very difficult question. So algebra is something which is like make it or break it. Like in arithmetic, you may get questions where you like it seems to be like you can do this question or you can solve this question. But in case of algebra, there are so many questions you will get where it's like a make it or break it. You can see like whether you can solve it or you cannot solve it. So this is as like it's as I can say it is more like for it's a good from a point of view of like taking a decision while doing a question and not. The next is obviously is the third week. Third week is 4 RC 15 VA. Now we have gone into directly into the practice mode. Like you have to do at least 4 like at max 4 RC, so it is 4 or 3. And in case of 15, if it is too much for you, do 10 VA. So this you have to do, that is 3 RC and 10 VA, because now there is nothing to learn. Now you have just to keep on practicing. And we will also provide you, in iQuanta will provide you all the materials also from where you can do the practice. Also you can practice from the previous year CAT like questions, like all the VA questions, especially the RC questions as well. And we also have our exhaustive materials where you can use, where those material can be used while you are solving this type of things. So we have like our application classes, we will have a lot of materials. We have the assignments, we have the dashboard assignments. Also we have gift materials. So we will have a lot of questions, which is like kind of a like CAT-like questions. And also in IM ABC batch, we have all the questions, which is typically for the IM people, typically for like all the like let's say the CAT questions, like it's a very similar to the CAT questions. So you can practice from there also. You understand like where we can get this particular set of questions. That is also very important, because at one point of time you have to like curate like the sets, or you have to search for the sets. But in iQuanta, what we can do, we can give you all the right kind of sets. So that you don't need to like waste a lot of time in hunching good sets and going from this platform to another platform to another platform, another YouTube videos and all of these things. So we give you everything in one plate. Yes, you can do it by yourself, but it will take a lot of time. So what we do, we will give you a better benefits just by accumulating everything in one plate. Those who have exam in May, you should not do this. You should reduce everything. Though people who have exam in May, you should be very careful about your exams, because your CGPA is also very important, and that will be like a lifetime thing. It will be in your CV, and a lot of colleges also give a lot of importance in your CGPA. So you cannot mess with your college exams. So you have to keep on like practicing for your college exams, or like keep on studying. And along with that, you need to do all these things also. But obviously, you have to do lesser amount of it. Let's say you can do 1 RC like provided a time. You just do the classes, only do the classes, and do like keep the assignments there, not doing all the assignments also. When your exam will be over, then you can do all of these things together. So next is obviously the third week we are going. The practices for LID is same. Next is inequality, sequence and series. Very important section also, because that's why I have recurrent inequality, because inequality has too many parts. Like we have AMGM inequality, we have quadratic inequality, we have Chebyshev inequalities, we have all different type of, let's say, including logarithm, including everything is there in inequality also. So it is inequality and sequence and series. And the final is basically for the fourth week, we have function and graph. Now the function and graph, with function and graph, we generally complete the algebra. That is like mostly we are completing now what? Algebra. So after this, when we are completing algebra, then we will move for the next things. And remember, arithmetic and algebra will give you around 16 kind of like questions, which is like kind of like out of like, you can see like it is more than like even 70% of your entire paper. So if you're good in 16 questions, it's very easy for you to score even 99 percentile. It's not difficult, because 9 questions, 10 questions will fetch you 99 percentile. So next is July, obviously. Now July, you can see one thing, like July is like not a very different year from this. July is basically like you can see it's morely now practiced, because in case of VARC, and first 2 weeks I'm just checking you, like this is all the practice like VARC, what we have been practicing before, like the 3 to 4 RC and 10 to 15 VA, that's you have to do regularly. Practices for the LIT, the same practice for this 2 weeks. Now in this case of Quant, we will start with revision, because we have finished algebra in June. Now in July first week, you just need to revise all the different type of things you have learned, especially all the chapters. Like every day one chapter, take like almost 7-8 chapters are there. Take every day one chapter and revise it. Then conclude it. Then go for geometry. Second week we'll start with geometry and we'll start with triangle, because geometry is the third important topic in CAT. Right? Third important. Not only I said topic, it's basically a section. Like arithmetic is the one of the most important. Algebra is the second. Geometry is the third. Like I'm speaking historically. Now triangle is there. So triangle you need to do, and triangle is like the most important in also geometry, because you can see in geometry the most time you need to give, that is in triangle. So you have to do triangles. There is also lines and angles and everything is there in triangle, and you need to give at least a week for triangle also. Now from third week in iQuanta we will start giving you mocks. So you will start getting mocks from the third week of July. Now a lot of people ask me generally, like, if we have not finished our syllabus, shall we take mock? The answer is yes, you should. No matter if you just completed even only arithmetic also. Let's say we have already completed algebra. Let's say you cannot do that algebra part, you have done only arithmetic. Then also you have to take mocks from July only, because from July we will have one mock obviously. Like generally it's a one mock in a week, so it's like a 3 to 4 mocks in a month. So you have only one day for mock and one day for analysis. The remaining days you have to do the same practice what you are doing in the initial days. So in 1 week you are taking a mock, let's say one mock, and I'm giving you a day for analysis, because analysis is also very important, because without analysis you cannot improve. For improvement, analysis is like the most important thing. Like it's not about, let's say, for while you are solving, like you just say, let's say you solved 7 questions, but what about the remaining 15 questions or 17 questions? You have to solve all the questions. Then you need to check whether you can solve these questions or not. And what after that, if you're not solving, please go through the solutions, please understand where you have stuck and exactly what is the reason behind like you being stuck in that particular question, especially in Quant. Especially in VARC also, you have to understand like the passage where you are basically facing difficulty, your time management, how much time you are basically taking in one particular passage, which passage you are taking less time. So this kind of analysis we have to do. And we have also AI based mocks, where our like AI streamed LMS, which is learning management system, that will help you to understand your mock much better. So you will give less time to understand your performance. We will also help you to understand your performance, whether you are doing good in arithmetic or you're doing good in algebra. Not even in algebra, let's say you are good in quadratic, but you are not good in inequality. So that kind of information will be provided by us also, but you need to do what? You need to understand why you are not doing good in there. What kind of questions you are getting difficulty. So that's why analysis is very important, especially for all 3 sections. So without analysis, I have not seen anyone who can improve their mocks. So you have to analyze to improve your mocks. Then only you can use all those learning in your second mock, so that you have all the learning. Now you're applying those learning in the second mock. Again, you are learning a lot of things in analysis. Again, you're learning in the applying in the mock. So in this way, we generally develop and we generally grow and we improve our scores. So very important is your analysis and with mock. And obviously the rest 5 days you have to do the practice. And similarly for the LRDA also the same thing you need to do. But Quant we have not even finished yet, right? So we have only done triangle. The next thing is quadrilateral and polygon. Mock to you have to give, right? Mock to is there. Whether you have completed it or not, it's nothing, it doesn't matter. You have to take mock. But along with that, you have to finish quadrilateral and polygons. This is like the second chapter. It includes quadrilateral polygons, right? So after this thing, there is the 4th week. The 4th week, what you need to do, that is again the mock practice is there. So these 2 things are same for LRDI and for VARC, because we just need to take mock and we do analysis of all these things. But in case of Quant, you have to go for the circle and mensuration. Because that is the 3rd section, obviously. First one is triangle, then polygon, quadrilateral, then circle and mensuration. And this is majorly the major portion of geometry. So in this week, we are generally completing geometry. And if we complete geometry, that means we are completing 90% of the Quant syllabus. The remaining 10% is like the miscellaneous. It's like a little bit of numbers, 1 to PNC questions. Probability is not there for the last 2-3 years. So it's just the 90% you have finished in this timeline only. But you might ask me, what about trigonometry? What about the other things? Because trigonometry is very rare in CAT, or like you can see, like rare. It's the rarest in CAT. In fact, like coordinate geometry is one thing, which is also not very rare, but coordinate geometry we will also learn, obviously. After this thing, we will learn coordinate geometry as well. That's for 1 year. So let's go for the next one. The next month is July. Next one is August. So in case of August, it's all about your mocks, analysis, and practice. So these 2 weeks, these 2 things is all about your mock and analysis. Obviously, you'll get around 1 mock in every week, but the remaining days you have to practice the way you are practicing. Please remember, so this is like the entire month you will be in practicing zone for VRC, LRDI. But in case of Quant, now we will get into the last 10%, which is numbers. Now the number system is there, obviously. So in number system, we will do in 2 months. So number system, we have so many chapters also, like we have factors, we have LCM, HCF, we have remainders, we have divisibility, we have factorials, we have last digit, last 2 digits. So we have so many things in numbers, but I'm giving you 2 weeks just to make sure you don't need to do too much of numbers. You just need to do the basics, especially the 2-3 chapters are very important, like the divisibility, LCM, HCF, and factors. These 3 things are kind of very important. So these 3 things you have to be very focused in case of numbers. Otherwise, like you can go with the mocks also and the remaining practice, obviously. And please keep on practicing, keep on doing mocks in this between as well. And in the 3rd week, 4th week is same, but in 3rd, 4th week, in case of, we start with PNC and probability. Now this is the last section, which is known as modern maths. Modern maths, we have PNC, probability, set theory. So in general, we will do PNC in this particular section. We will do probability, but it is not a very important section for CAT. You'll get, including the 3 slots, you can get 2 questions from PNC. It is even possible that in one particular slot, you will not get any question from PNC or probability also. That is also possible, right? In the previous year, 1 section, there is no question of like PNC. But the other 2 slots, they have one question from PNC. So this is the thing you need to understand, and in this case, we are almost finishing with this, our journey for like the entire syllabus completion. But remember one thing, after August, the main match begins from September, because September, October, and like the last days of November is totally on your revision. And remember, from mid-August or September, we also start this revision thing is basically our crash course. So we also start with our crash course where you can revise everything accordingly. So we can do revision with the crash course also. So you can go through the classes, you can again go through the classes, go through the important questions, so that entire thing will be revised in September and October. But along with that, your own practice has to be there. Along with the mock and everything, your own practice should be there. And especially for the Quant, in these particular 2 weeks, you have to do all those portions which you are not best at it. So let's say you are not very good in, let's say, arithmetic. So please do arithmetic there. You are not very good in particular, let's say, one section like TSD. So please practice TSD in these 2 weeks mostly, because after that, we will just do practice. Nothing about it, just practice. So next is October. So October is again the practice weeks, like we will have the revision also, because iQuanta has a revision crash course also, which will be obviously free with the second batch as well. So you will do the revision thing. Revision is going on till like November, but revision is also very important because it will help you to go through all particular things which we have learned in the initial classes. And along with that, now you will increase the number of mocks. Obviously, you'll get around two mocks in every week, and you have to do mock and analysis. Do take mock, next do analysis, take mock, next do analysis, and the remaining days do like the same kind of preparation, like 4. Now you have to do like 4 RC, 4 LRDI, that is sets, that is mandatory, and along with that 15 VA. So you have to do these things like all other days where you are not taking mocks, and at least 40 QA questions. So this thing you have to keep on doing in every day on those days where you are not taking mocks. And those days you are not taking mocks, like let's say there are 2 mocks, so I'm taking around 3 to 4 days you are giving mock and their analysis, and the remaining 3 days you have to do this thing, this schedule you have to follow. And in between you just need to improve where you need to improve also, because you have learned, like let's say this is your weaker section, please improve your weaker section in that particular point of time as well. So this is about October. So next is November, like the last month obviously. November, so this is like the 3rd, 4th week is basically the CAT week. So we have exactly 3 weeks. But November has to be a very chill out month obviously. If you have already prepared so much, just mostly now focus on mock, and mock. So try to take 2 mocks, at least 2 to 3 mocks in this time period. If you are taking 3 mocks, that is also fine. You are taking 2 mocks, that is also fine. Some people also take 4 mocks also, that is also fine. But I always suggest to take not more than 3 mocks. So 3 mocks is fine, and if you take 3 mocks and 3 analysis, so that is 6 days. And with the mocks and everything, please go through your general revision process. Because in this time, your most focus will be on analysis and mock and nothing else. Just take with the same flow, do not burn yourself out, because the next, after 3 weeks, you'll take the actual exam. So in that way, in the same time, you'll also get in this point of time, like in when you will take the exam, like in which slot. So let's say if you're taking it in evening slot, so your mock should be in the evening. Let's say if you're taking it in the afternoon slot, so your mock should be in afternoon. You understand me? So you have to be very well familiarized with the time slot also. Let's say you have to take it in morning and you are a night person, right? So then you need to start like waking up at morning and start taking mock at the same point of time that you are going to take in actual CAT. And by this time you'll get also your admit card and all. You know exactly when you are taking this CAT. So this is the particular time period where you have to familiarize yourself with the timing, with the particular slot, and with the type of questions what you are going to do for the next 3 weeks. So this is all about it, and obviously in 4th week we have CAT week, and after that we have the next things, which is about ZAT, which is about the other things also, like ZAT is there, like SNAP is there, TEST is there. We will prepare you for all of these questions, all of these particular like tests, ZAT, SNAP, TEST. This year there is no TEST, it is basically CUT PG. There is also NMAT, there is also CMAT. CMAT is also not happening this year, I guess, like they have not even introduced it yet, the CMAT thing. We have MACT. So all these exams will come after CAT, but CAT is all like the flagship thing. So that's why we first start with CAT, then we'll go for the ZAT and the other things as well. So this is about like how we basically clear about like what is we are going to do in iQuanta. Like especially with iQuanta or without iQuanta, this should be your schedule for the next few months. And for the next few months, you have to keep on doing these things. And I believe if you follow these things particularly, you will get your you'll get your desired percentile. You'll get your at least like the percentile what you're actually looking for, like whether it is a 99 percentile or 99.5 percentile. So this is like how you should proceed, and this is your entire full length CAT like preparation strategy and preparation schedule, which we have already shown you. So this is like exactly the same. So next is important thing is obviously now why iQuanta, like how iQuanta is going to help you in this preparation. Very important section obviously, like how iQuanta will help you to do in this preparation, and why iQuanta obviously. And iQuanta is how iQuanta is different, and what is the differentiating factor of iQuanta, and what makes iQuanta unique, right? So let's go for the first thing. So that is like first iQuanta, we are providing you also some free materials. Let's say if you are not with like with the paid customers also, but with you are like not taking this thing also, but we still have given you all these things which is for free. That is your previous year CAT papers, like previous 7-8 years CAT papers. In this thing, you can take it in 3 ways. One is topic-wise past questions, year-wise, or you can take it as mock as well. So in 3 ways, you can take these papers, and this is free for everyone. Now the next is obviously what we are providing. We also have another thing, which is like our formula book for CAT. That is also there available in our website. So you can go through that formula book. There we have accumulated all the formula which is basically necessary for the CAT. Next is our mocks obviously. Now the mock is like very important. Why mock is very important? Because our mock is AI powered. Now in this mock, this iMock, which is like the first 2 mock is obviously for free kind of, and like everyone can take this mock, but the remaining mocks are obviously paid. And this mock is based on AI. So this is, we not only give like the mock which is like the best in the standard, but also we will give like the best possible analysis as well, which will help you and which will reduce your analysis time as well. So you can see like which section you need to improve. You can see which type of questions you are like doing, you are having mistakes, like you are committing, all the questions where you are like facing difficulties, where you have done maximum incorrect questions, where you have done like all the right kind of questions. So you can go with this flow with our AI powered mocks, and that exactly help you to understand your strategy, because you need to understand your strength, your weakness, your SWOT analysis, where you have to improve, where you are good at it. You can do less that particular thing, you can do more that particular thing. All this kind of things comes with the AI. So that's why our mock is very unique, and this is AI powered mocks. Now the next is largest cat prep community, obviously. This is no need to say. Our community in the Facebook community, basically, it has more than 3.7 lakh more than 3.7 lakh people, and where we are definitely, we are basically talking to you guys. Our moderators are there, the faculty is there, like even Jeet Singh himself is there. So we try to answer your questions, we try to nurture like all the colleges, what is a good college, what is kind of percentile you are requiring, and what exactly you are going to do with iQuanta. So all of these kind of things, all of this kind of like live things you'll get in that particular group. And especially this group is like this community is the largest. This is the largest cat community in India. This is the largest cat community. There is no bigger or better community than this. So trust me in this, and you will get so much insight in this. Like you have get a lot of insight. You know like exactly what to do, what not to do, what exactly your preparation, where you are currently standing. You can express your doubts also. So you please like join us with this particular community. And after that, you will get also the paid community. Like when you are like already with a student, you also get the access to the paid communities as well. Next is CAT course timeline, obviously. Like now we have like 150 plus hours of live session, obviously 150 hours of live sessions. What is live session? Live session is basically the classes which we are taking from 7 to 9, right? So that is one live session. The second, like live application classes. One is live classes, next is live application classes. Live application classes we are having 10 to 12, 6 days. So that live class is 4 days a week, live application classes is 6 days a week. So total we are giving you 150 plus hours of live sessions, and 100 plus hours of live session for LRDI and 100 plus for VRC. Similarly, we have like 100,000 plus recorded videos, 250 plus recorded videos in LRDI, and 250 is for VRC also. We have like all the chapters, we have class-wise assignments, we have gift materials, we have practice questions in everything, in Quant, in LRDI and VRC. And we also promise we will provide you the best kind of material that is available in the market. The next is like almost the entire syllabus will be completed. Obviously, this is the concept and application classes. And the next is, you can see like we have CAT mocks. There are 20 full mocks, obviously. We are giving you 20 full mocks, which is like AI powered mocks, and 60 sectionals. Sectionals means like you have like Quant, you have like VRC, you have LRDI. So these are 3 sectionals, each sectional with 20 mocks, like sectional mocks. And 15 non-CAT mock for ZAT, IFT, SNAP, NMAT, because IFT is not right now, there is no exam like IFT. So it's like mostly ZAT, SNAP, NMAT, and the other exams as well. Other there are small exams like MHCT is there, CUTPG is there. So next is, that is like you get one of the most important thing is our flagship program is IIM ABC batch. So IIM ABC batch, we are generally providing you with questions, with like the questions which I have already told you, like the CAT-like questions, where initially you'll get 3,500 questions, and after that you will get 4,000 questions, and that question you'll start getting from mid-July, and you'll get questions from every day. Every day you will get a lot of questions. Every day you will get, let's say, by 8 to 10 Quant questions, one set of RCA, one set of LRDI, and in slowly you'll get all the content till the date you are taking CAT. So this is like our IIM ABC batch, and we have also 24/7 doubt clearing sessions. So in our paid group, you post any doubt, and we generally solve every doubt within 15 minutes. Like let's say you ask me a doubt, and we will give you answer, whether be it is at 2 a.m., be it is at 2 p.m. We will answer you in 15 minutes in general. Like in fact, you can see like it takes 8 minutes for like this sunlight even to reach Earth, but in similarly like this kind of time, like in 16 minutes, like maximum, like twice of it, we will answer your questions. So next is obviously the next part is, I have already told you about IIM ABC batch, and this is like 500 exact CAT level RC, 500 LRDI, 2,500 questions like topic wise. I have already told you exactly, and after that you'll get 3 RC every day and 3 LRDI sets every day, 12 Quant questions every day. Initially you will get around 50%, like 3,500 questions you'll get initially in the early things, and after like from mid-July you'll get 3 RCs every day, 3 LRDI sets, and all like the CAT kind of sets. So this is all about our IIM ABC batch. Next is crash course. Obviously this will be free for the people who is joining in the batch 2, batch 1 obviously. This crash course is like, it's around like 10,000 free. And if you're like still joining only the crash course, so you need to get like giving around 10,000 rupees and all. But if you are joining this course too, this particular thing will be free, and you can do the crash course, you can do the revision. I have told you the last 2 months are totally for the revision, and this crash course will help you also to do the revise the entire topics. And in crash course also we have 60 plus sessions of all of these things, and the practice questions are there, everything is there. So the crash course is very important. And I have also told you, like, you need the last 2 months is the revision month, and the revision month plus this crash course is actually the combo. So then you can do the revision properly, like everything and everything, every chapter, every connection, every concept, and every kind of questions kind of will be covered in this crash course as well. So, and most importantly, we complete this class in live class, then in application class. So already you have completed the entire things in 2 ways now in crash course. So total 3 times we are covering the entire thing. Like the entire chapter is covered thrice. So we will give you everything what you need, like whatever exactly is there, like 3 classes, 3 ways of completing classes, like with live classes, with application classes, with crash course. So everything will be done thrice. Every concept will be done thrice. Every chapter will be done thrice, and everything will be done thrice. So, and obviously, like after this, like we will go for the next thing, like what exactly we are giving you in iQuanta. So you have understood like what is basically the course content of iQuanta and how we are doing live classes, application classes. I am ABC batch is there also. I am ABC material is there, and also we have the hard copy as well. Like we have introduced the hard copy as well. You can also buy hard copy directly from us, and even hard copy also includes so many amazing questions. So you have like the option to buy hard copy from directly from us as well, and you can also like you can directly buy it from our website. Next is. I am like giving it, like I am giving the it to Abhishek sir. So Abhishek sir, please come. So thank you guys. Like I guess Abhishek sir will finish this thing from here. So he's taking up now the floor. So yes sir, the floor is yours. Thanks guys.
Wow, that was so interesting. Even I was enjoying that. By the way, there are a lot of queries which I answered. So whatever I see from the CAP preparation I wanted, that is, I was answering all the queries. I hope everything is solved. And now coming to what makes iQuanta the best CAP preparation platform. So there are various features. We'll take them one by one. The first is, and you can see this image, that's an interesting image. And we have used this for, I would say, a literary impact and a scientific impact as well. Time it takes for light to reach Earth from Sun is approximately 8 minutes. Slightly more than that, and that's the time that we take to solve a question, be it 1 a.m. in the night or 3 a.m. in the night. So there is one thing. By the way, there are some testimonials which you can see. So people post their doubts, and 24/7 there is a team of doubt solvers who are working across pan India and across the clock, and they keep on solving doubts, be it from any section. Okay, not the personal doubts, of course. Coming to the next is, that is iQuanta's dual pedagogy. Now, dual pedagogy. Dual, that means 2 ways. Pedagogy is the art of learning, art of teaching. So there are 2 ways to do it. One is application classes, other is live interactive classes. So in application classes, a video is given to you based on certain concept, and then questions are given to you in form of Facebook comments, and you have to answer that again in form of comments. And this is done like thousands. Close 1,000 people actually attended session from 10 p.m. to 12 midnight, and all of them try to answer it together. So that is a kind of very healthy competition which keeps on happening every night. That is application classes. Here the students are in the driving seat. They are the ones who will be driving the entire pace of the session. Live interactive classes, where we'll be coming in front of you, like today. This is the live interactive. You can ask us in form of comments. We can answer it. So the doubt resolution is done then and there only. But in case you have some doubts which are not solved in the class, rarely it happens, then you can post it in the doubt group, solving group, and it gets solved within 8 to 15 minutes. Well, the next is iQuanta's CAT content relevancy. Now, this is something that's very important because content is everywhere, and today is the world of the best content. Content is the king. Be it films, be it education, or be it anything. Even the content you post on your Instagram is also content. So content should be relevant. You know what? I say it out loud that being relevant being relevant is very important because even mosquitoes are popular, right? So content relevancy, this is something which iQuanta has been seeing from quite a long time now, and a lot of questions which we have done either in live class or application class or in the practice sessions, they have come in some cases word by word, in some cases words have changed, the questions are phrased differently, but they have come in the real CAT exam as well. Look at this. Questions CAT में कहीं से भी आए लेके iQuanta वाले ही जाएंगे. iQuanta Quant, iQuanta VARC, iQuanta LRDI, and this is CAT. So wherever you put it, it always be iQuanta's CAT content. Anyways, the next thing is, by the way, you can have some look at these testimonials. People have actually said that this is what happened in the real CAT exam. Peer-to-peer learning. Today's world is a virtual world. In today's world, people are coming, in online form, and they cannot talk to each other. So for that, we have created a community, the biggest online CAT community, in which people can actually, interact with each other. The interaction can be based on the questions. It can be based on the form filling sessions, based on what is the strategy, how are you preparing, or also forming small study groups. So this is very important. So that is how, and that is why we have developed a community in which the students who are preparing for CAT, the seniors, even the B School alumni, and the faculty members and all the experts of this field are there in the group, and they solve your doubts, be it any kind of doubt. So that is there in the iQuanta course features. Then iQuanta's result. So as you can see, we have produced a lot of 100 percentilers, and in these years, I'll tell you that what is the CAT overall result. So you can see this, 475 plus got 99 percentile. This is all the result from the last year, and combined we have produced more than 475 99 percentilers. Then this one thing, the best way, how any kind of pedagogy works, it depends on how it treats the students who are not that much well versed with either the English language or the logic or the mathematics. So so this is what happened with few of our students. I can show the testimonials from 70 percentile to 90 percentile. Biswaroop Ghosh, 74 to 99.2, 60 to 96, 72 to 96.33. So even if 60 to 96, that's such a huge growth. It's a growth of 60%. So people who score low in the previous mocks, or the people who feel demotivated, reality is if you happen to follow all these strategies religiously every day, you can jump from this to this. See, this is huge. There are some more testimonials like this. Hinal. Then we have Biswaroop, Nivedita. So all these people are there. All in all, a strategy, peer-to-peer interaction, daily dosage of vocabulary, daily dosage of questions, daily dosage of practice, and also the ease of access to the faculty members and the experts is what sets iQuanta apart in the industry of CAT online coaching. So I'm expecting you all in the live classes. So let's meet over there. In case you have any query, you can put in the comments here itself, and we'll be solving that. If you have query right now, you can put it right now. And if you have query in the future, like after watching this session, you might be thinking of something in the next hour or two. So you can post it there, and we'll be there for the query resolution. So hope you understood how CAT is cleared in 240 days. We'll come up with more such sessions on YouTube regularly, probably fortnightly, and every month we'll be sharing the strategy, like 240 days, then it will be 7-month strategy, 6-month strategy, and so on. So take care, everyone. It was really nice talking to you all. Thank you.
Crash course तो include ही होगा ना?